I am the truth. This is my second message to churches. Although throughout history you have been the leaders of human thought in regards to matters of spiritual being, your own history, current acceptances, indiscretions, and thoughts are not representative of the truth. For any deviancy of the truth is a deviancy from the truth, and therefore is not set on a firm foundation. I am not speaking to those pure and true workers of righteousness contained within these organizations. But be very mindful of the difference between representing the truth and downplaying any deviancy from the truth. One is pure, the other is not. Let it also be hereby known for eternity, you, the very top leaders of churches, that being docile, conciliatory, and pacifistic are not superior states of spiritual being. If you allow the continuance of any unsound principle that leads to tragedy in any degree, then you are as responsible and guilty as the originators of the deviant behavior in the spirit of the truth. And the further you deviate in any way to that which is the truth, the further you deviate from what you have defined of as God. I would like to remind that each of you individually representing the truth to all human beings will be held to 10 times the standard in the spiritual hereafter. You may at any time align yourself with a truth that simply is, or continue to represent close deviancies to the truth, therefore helping that which into eventuality will exist in opposition to. I will not expand as well on the perverse behavior shown of priests, pastors, bishops, ministers, deacons, and other religious clergy, or the history of the raping of nuns, the molestation of children, or the starting of wars. These are obvious indiscretions that have no place with the truth. These indiscretions are not limited to any specific organization. They can be found throughout. This behavior is representative of perversion and deviancy from a church's own teachings, and based on unsound principles, which therefore make it inconsistent with the truth. Let it hereby be known the reason for these indiscretions, so that these individuals can be helped in a timely manner before their spiritual selves are lost entirely. When a human being is not completely and absolutely devoted to the truth in heart and mind, it will open them up to the wanting of their physical selves. These deviancies will then over time continue to grow, and those who incorrectly define themselves as spiritual beings will eventually find this perverse behavior made manifest towards the most innocent, and by virtue of innocence, naive bystanders, which are children. Although these individuals are actually working on attaining pure spirituality, they must be removed until a purity of heart and a lack of physical desire is achieved, lest the same thing happen. I am here to tell you that I am aware that there have been more savage deaths being brought to the human race in the name of religion and moral intentions than for any other reason. How can you, as part of your own teachings of peace and harmony, kill each other to prove how much more tolerant you are than another person in a different religion? You are a vicious and misguided people. How different does that make you then than those who have killed for any other reason? Any fighting or wars started over a deviant momentum away from the truth is not the truth. Who are you leaders of churches who speak out against the perils of having a magnified desire for money as you move an offering plate around and ask for as much of that which you warn against. How different are you, then, than a mother who tells their child not to smoke while putting a cigarette up to their mouth? I say to you now, there is no difference. Who are you, religious leaders, allowing businesses into your church? You are of the rotten if you allow this to continue. I am the truth. I am the solid foundation from which to build from. But you cannot build upon such activities, for they are inconsistent with that which is all-encompassing. Turn away now from these deviant and hypocritical ways. Who are you, spiritual advisors of the many, who pride themselves and are boastful about your man-made titles? I say to you that it would be laughable, if not so serious of a matter, for you to speak of modesty and be extremely proud of yourself and made-up ideal titles. I ask that you in actuality gain what you claim to have, and when you do, you will give up one, for they exist at an essential level in opposition. I say to you now, stray away from endorsing products or people who are engaged in profiteering of what some believe to be the Word. You are hereby made responsible if you in any way support such deviancies from truth. Your deviant thoughts and activities are apparent even to those who you have defined of as average intelligence. Your hypocritical and contradictory states of being become more evident to those of pure, the more of what you call time goes by. I am here to tell you that you are not to say to people you know what God wants for them. You do not know. Only God knows. So who do you say you are? If you describe to humans what God wants for them or attempt to speak on behalf of God, it would be considered what humans have defined of as blasphemous. I am the truth. No one speaks to God except through me. I am the light and the way. If you have ears, then listen. You may speak of the truth, but if you listen, you will become understanding of truth. Continue to mix made-up human morals and values with that which is the truth, and you will continue to lead people astray. Purposefully leading people astray, after hearing that which you know and can feel is the truth, will in essence provide fuel for the fires of ambiguity. You will be helping the grayness and obscurity that the opposite of truth exists to convey. The time is near. You will be held responsible, as all will be, for the indiscrepancies of your own teachings and deviancies from truth.